Oh, hello, Anthony. How are you? Um, you and I haven't actually talked. I think I've commented on a couple of your videos. I am subscribed to you, and I should confess to you that you are one of the few uh, uh, Christian folks that I'm actually subscribed to. I don't generally because I generally find um, over religious people to be kind of annoying. That being said, this is the second video about this pregnant man thing that I've made. And it's always, and the first one was in response to someone else. And so this one, I guess, is as well. Um, you said a couple things that kind of piqued my interest, and I wanted to address those. Um, I'm going to start, I guess, with the first thing, and I always feel like as someone of a more progressive political persuasion that I have to come out and say this. Conservative accusations about media. Okay, here's the thing. Why did the media put this out the way they did? Well, and it's quite simple, really. Um, you're right about one thing, that there is an agenda, and the agenda is this: to get people to watch. Um, Now I've heard about the liberal media and the conservative media and blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Okay, the first thing you have to realize, Anthony, is that the news media is now one of several other kinds of media that we have the chance to watch, and they have to, unlike in the past, they have to compete for our attention. Have to compete against cable news. They have to compete against you know television shows, uh, movies, music videos, simultaneous media that's going on all the time, and news is a little nth. Now you might could argue that Oprah is a bigger nth, but still, that's not a slam on her weight problems, by the way, because if you can look at me, I'm kind of a fat bastard. But that just a fact on her prominence in media, warranted or not. Um, their only objective is to get people to watch, and so they put this stuff out there to try to attract people's attention. And again, I'm not really sure. On one level, I agree with you. I'm not sure why it's being considered such a big deal. People have babies all the time. On the other hand, something else. A couple of things you did say. You said that two well-rounded women could raise a child. So okay, what about two well-rounded men? I wonder, Anthony, if you have sort of the religious version of the guy's fantasy, two women fantasy. Um, of course, it's not going to be sexual because you are a Christian and you're holy and all that. But I wonder if the notion of a couple of guys together just irks you just a little bit, just makes that place in the pit of your stomach just turn just a little bit. So I'm curious about that. I would kind of like you to respond to that, because if that's the case, then you're sort of separating between the homosexuality between like lesbians and between homosexual men. So I'm curious about uh, how you can do that with as you would see it, a biblical base. Because to be honest with you, I just think that you're uncomfortable with the fact of a couple of guys getting it on. So, and I'm coming from the perspective, I'm straight and I'm married and I have a daughter, and so but I simply don't care what people do. And the whole sliding slope argument, okay, don't throw that at me because it's ridiculous. Um, okay, so the other thing, I think the question that maybe, because you're talking about that about the cat guy with the who did the plastic surgery and the implants and the tattoos. Did he actually want to be considered legally a cat? If that's so, then maybe I don't know. But here's the thing: the root of this discussion, I think, has to do with who defines us. Who defines us? Is our definition of ourselves based on a social construct, a cultural construct? Is it based on a biological construct, or is it based on our how we feel about ourselves? Um, And I think that's really like at the heart of this discussion. Now, there are those people who think that it's pure biology and that, you've got an innie or an outie and that's it. I'm guessing you're of that particular persuasion. But if that's the case, then is all of our identity then based on what other people see? Because if that's the case, then you and I should have, I think, a much larger discussion. Because I just think that's nonsense. Okay, we are not defined by how other people view us. We are not defined by the stereotypes of gender, what a guy ought to act like and what a woman ought to act like. We're not defined by those things. Now, the thing that I think should most define us is how we feel we are, who we feel we are, and who we want to be. Maybe that's the better way to put it, who we want to be. Because beyond how everyone else sees us is the person that we want to become. Because none of us is fully formed. I'm 35, and I don't think of myself as fully formed. And I'm still moving forward in my life. I have a long way to go. So, but I don't understand why it makes people uncomfortable. I can see why the attention paid is a little annoying. And honestly, I see this as a non-issue. But a couple of those things that I mentioned kind of piqued my interest, and I'm kind of interested in what you have to say. But you really don't think that the media guys get together, that ABC and CBS and NBC and Oprah and CNN, that they all get together in little closet meetings and conspire for ways to skew the public opinion? You don't really think that, do you? I know people that think that way, and you don't come off as a nut job. At least not a complete nut job. Not like a yoke-up nut job. But, do you really think that that's the case? Anyway, have a good weekend.